Am I the asshole for calling myself 18 female, disabled in front of a disabled person? This mess is killing me. What's your call? Hit me in the comments with your take or a drama you've faced. 2 weeks ago, I started an internship at a data analytics firm. Apparently, at the beginning of every summer, they hold a barbecue to welcome the new interns and give them a chance to get to know everyone outside of work. The barbecue was held at my boss's house, and about 25 people were expected to attend. My boss had set up a volleyball net, and after everyone finished eating, people started teaming up and heading over to play. One of my coworkers asked me to join their team, but I politely declined. I explained that I have a disability and could not play. I did not explain much further because the disability I have is an extremely rare genetic disorder that is difficult to explain, so I usually keep it minimal. If people want to ask about it, they always do. Well, one of my other coworkers, who is disabled and uses a wheelchair, was close enough to hear what I said and gave me a very dirty look when I mentioned I had a disability. She said that there was no possible way I had a disability because she observed that I walk fine and have no visible impairments. This caught me off guard because I have never had anyone question whether I was truly disabled. I explained to her that I was born with a genetic deformity and that the bones in my legs had formed incorrectly. I told her that I had many surgeries growing up and was in the hospital so often that I had to do school online. She asked me why I even needed those surgeries, so I explained that my knees dislocate very easily, and I had difficulty walking without a knee popping out. I spent 7 years having surgeries and in recovery to get to the point where I could walk again. However, I cannot do many things that others can. Cannot run. Cannot jump. I cannot pivot easily, and I definitely cannot play sports. I always joke that if my life depended on it, I could run, but I would not make it more than a block. She argued with me back and forth and said that my condition is not really a disability. I feel really bad. I have always classified it as a disability because I do not know what else to call it. I never thought that it would be offensive to others. Either way, my coworker stormed off, and I decided to just go home. So, am I the asshole for calling myself disabled in front of my disabled coworker? Commenter 1. Not the asshole. I was born with a genetic deformity, and I am classified as disabled by the Americans with Disabilities Act. If your deformity limits life activities, it is considered a disability. Not being able to run or jump definitely sounds like limitations to me. The fact that you have never encountered this issue before suggests that most people would agree, particularly when the activity at hand was volleyball. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I always hated volleyball because it severely hurt my body. Commenter 2. Not the asshole. She cannot gatekeep disabilities. It sounds like you did a decent job explaining to her, but you did not truly need to share that much information. It could have been any one of 100 other diagnoses, and it still would not have mattered. It still would not have been her business. Exactly. She is trying to gatekeep. This is a somewhat understandable reaction, which the original poster might encounter more frequently. When gluten-free became a major health trend in the early 2010s, many people who were genuinely celiac became quite annoyed by it. Suddenly, you had all these people claiming they were allergic to gluten and demanding gluten-free dishes, even when they were not, or at least did not have a diagnosis. The feeling for some celiacs was that it cheapened or diluted their genuine, serious health issue. In some cases, it emboldened cafes and restaurants to claim things were gluten-free when they were not, out of spite or ignorance. Not to mention the absurd products like gluten-free water, or even non-food items being marked gluten-free. On the whole, however, what it did was bring a significant number of actual gluten-free items onto shelves and into restaurants. Many stores now have half an aisle of just gluten-free products, and packaging is much more clearly labeled. In the same way, I am sure that someone who has been in a wheelchair for 30 years now sees all these new disabilities being claimed and feels that theirs is in some way being cheapened or downgraded. In reality, however, what it will do is raise public awareness of disabilities as a whole. It will result in disability accommodations being made available by default instead of by exception. So, rather than, oh, we have a wheelchair user here. If you can wait 5 minutes, I will call for 4 members of staff to help you and your chair get in here. It will be, there is an elevator right over there. Do you require assistance using it? Commenter 3. Not the asshole, but they are a raging one. They do not get to decide what is and is not a disability, and not all disabilities are visible. If they keep harassing you for your disability being fake, you should report them to Human Resources. Original poster. I am planning on bringing this up to Human Resources tomorrow. Another coworker messaged me after I left, saying that she was ranting to some of our team members about how people like me take away from others getting the accommodations they need. I would rather let it go and let this all blow over, but I am more worried that she will drag it out. How does your not playing volleyball take away from her accommodations? No, she has a problem with someone, but it is not you. Commenter 4. Not the asshole, and you never need to share that much information. That is private medical information she had no right to. You could have just said something along the lines of, some disabilities are invisible, and I am under no obligation to explain mine to you. Do not let them bully you. Good luck with your internship. Commenter 5. Not the asshole. People like your coworker are ignorant. Not all disabilities are visible. I am disabled per the Americans with Disabilities Act. I have cancer. You cannot see it, but I can certainly feel it. You did not do anything wrong.